Hey everyone, welcome to my kitchen. You are in the kitchen with KK, and I am Kimberly Knox. I'm a functional and integrative health coach and functional nutritionist, and I'm a bioenergetic chef that's really just taking food and making it easy and delicious, showing you what healthy is, making conversions so that you can enjoy things but make them healthier and do some stuff at home where you're going to be able to control the quality, control the ingredients. So today, what are we doing? We are celebrating National Granola Bar Day is January 21st. Okay, we've really got to work hard to bring the sugar and the stuff down after the holidays. And if you look at granola and granola bars, they're really glorified sugar treats without the real benefits of real energy and other stuff. Now, granola bars back when I was in college in the 80s, Nature's Valley were probably the top selling. And maybe some of you still get those, but I'm going to read you the label. These are sugar traps, they're glyphosate traps, they're inflammation traps, they're additives, preservatives, things that really damage the cell. And this is super easy stuff you can make at home. And that's why we're going to start out by making Vermont, my Vermont chai spice granola. And I like to keep it in jars. And I don't always have it on hand, but granola is great if you want to crunch. But don't fool yourself. You're getting granola because it's sugary. So you've got to enjoy what it's there for without getting over sugared. And that's what we're going to do. And then the next video is going to do, we're going to do an almond cherry granola bar. Okay. We're going to make them here. So this is a pantry treat, and you'll see that all of my jars really come in handy here. No apron required, just a bowl. The oven's on 325, low and slow. And we're not going to brown any of the ingredients before when we make the bars. And this is super easy. But let me just read you Nature's Valley. Now, Food Babe had called out Nature's Valley a long time ago because the amount of glyphosate in Nature's Valley is way above, nothing is safe, but it's way above what they consider to be safe. And but the rest of the ingredients are horrible as well. So and I only buy one oat, from listening to my overnight oats or any of my snack bars or my blueberry blizzard of muffins or my recent muffins that for the children made with that the kids can make with only 4 ingredients. Only one brand that I buy. It is a sprouted rolled oats by 1 Degree, a Farmers We Know, and it is certified glyphosate and gluten free, and that's what we need for our bodies. Okay, and don't let them fool you with whole grain oats. Whole grains, we need fats, fibers, and proteins. We really need more fruits, vegetables, and more than we need oats. Okay, but whole oats here, and then sugar is the next one. So we know that sugar is high in this, and it is. It's I'll get you the grams after, but the next one is canola oil, and then yellow corn flour. Okay, really? And canola oil, we know it is naturally inflammatory. Honey, and then soy flour. So they've got soy and corn, the 2 most damaged crops with the glyphosate and the genetically modified crops here. And then more brown sugar syrup, more salt, more soy lecithin, baking soda, and natural flavors. Natural flavors is carte blanche for additives and unreal stuff. So we can no longer really enjoy these, and I don't know if they were okay or better when they first came out, but we've got total sugars of over 12 grams in just 1 bar. So we have to do something different. These are really fun to make, and you don't have to get caught up on the quantities here. I'm just going to show you what you can put in and how you make them, because the granola is actually quite easy, and even healthier granolas I've tasted way too sweet for me. So get that sugar palette down. And what is granola for? You want the crunch. And we want some of the good fats of the nuts and the fiber and the protein. That's what we want. That's what keeps our blood sugar stable. And that's what gives us variety. We want texture when we're eating. And this is going to be loaded with amazing spice. And I'll give you the breakdown here. So we're going to start with the oats. And I keep my stuff in jars, so you're not going to see the bag here, but I've showed you the bag. It's 1 degree. Farmers we know and trust. So I'm going to put in a cup. You know, this is for me. You can make more, obviously, if you are making it for a larger family that's going to have more of this, but you don't always need to have granola on hand. And you know, keeping it in a jar. So this is my ground up pumpkin seed, but this would be a type of jar that I would keep it in the pantry there in the cupboard. So also we're going to be putting in coconut flakes here. I'm not going to add the coconut flakes to the granola bars. So I'm going to use a half a cup of this. Ready? And now I actually like the chips, the coconut chips, better for the granola than the flakes, but I only had the flakes today. So that's fantastic. In my cookbook, I have the Tropical Delight energy bars in there, energy balls. I have a couple balls. So balls can be turned into bars as well, or chunks or whatever. Walnuts, pistachios, pecans, softer nuts. They're going to toast up nice. Walnuts, great with omega-3s, great brain food. Pecans, naturally sweet nut. Perfect. And then pistachios, good amount of protein in pistachios, but don't buy the roasted. These are all raw nuts. They're not roasted. Often the roasted nuts are roasted in oils that are inflammatory. 1 handful is about a half a cup. So that's what I am putting in for each of these. And I will show you with the pecans here, and you see my jars, and you can get these jars if you're close to a Hobby Lobby. You see 1 handful is about a half a cup. So that's why you don't need to waste your measures and kind of just have fun, because it's not like an exact science when you're making granola. You can put a little more or a little less of something that you like, but just about a half. Variety of the nuts is really good here. The pecans come kind of pieces, and when I get them at Whole Foods, and so that's fine there. So they're already kind of broken up. If you do use almonds, and we're going to use them for the next recipe, we're not putting them in here. You might want to, we're going to break them up a little bit because almonds are harder and we want to get them broken down. The other thing is we're putting some seeds in here, sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds. And I have so many things out that now I need to go grab them, and some raisins. So hold on 1 second. We'll be right back. I'm going to let you go watch me go to my cupboard and get them out. You've seen me before, but anyway, so I actually use these stackable ones for the pumpkin seeds, and they stack together really nice in the cupboard. So that's helpful, but I do prefer to use glass. So one of these big scoops is a 1/4 cup. So I'm going to use at least a 1/4 cup of these. Now, pumpkin seeds have a full 10 grams of protein per half cup. They are alkaline. Almonds are also an alkaline nut. So it's good to have these in here. These are raw pumpkin seeds. Now, I do have some that I snack on, and these are the same ones that I grind up as a powder. That powder I use in lieu of a protein powder. Waste tons of money on protein powders, and there's a lot of junk in them. So you can just make your own there. Very helpful to cut back on all the stuff that you're adding in. And these are raw sunflower seeds. So the seeds and the nuts are really great for the granola because we're going to be toasting them low oven, 325. We're just going to let them warm up. Now, I like raisins. We're going to use cherries in the granola bars, but I like raisins for the actual granola. So at least probably a half a cup. And raisins are very sweet, so they're going to give you a lot of sweet as well. Now, where we're going to make up the difference for the sweetness is we're going to be adding a spice, my chai spice mixture. But what we also want to do is we're going to be heating up some coconut oil and some maple syrup. I do not heat my honey. I might warm it and put it in a warm drink, but I don't heat it or boil it or cook with it. And because this is a Vermont chai spice granola, we are using maple syrup. And so this is a nice little dish here. We're going to be using a 1/4 cup of the maple syrup. So that's all for this whole recipe. That's plenty. Maple syrup is very sweet. And then we're going to put on little gloves. Now, this is where you can lick your finger. Maple syrup is so sweet. Woo! That is so sweet. So once you bring that sugar palette down, you really notice these things. Why is that so tight? I must have really tightened that up a lot. You can kind of eyeball this, but 2 tablespoons at least. I'm eyeballing it because I've done enough measuring. Need just a little bit more. So I'm going to melt this. The stove is already warm. We'll sit that there. So let's get this to the side. We're going to use the food processor for the bars, but we're just going to do this one first here. Now the chai spice, let's go through this. 4 parts, like make this a teaspoon. 4 parts Ceylon cinnamon, 2 parts ginger, ground ginger, 2 parts cardamom, 1.5 cloves, ground cloves, 1 part nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon, make it a teaspoon, allspice, and 1/4 pepper. Put it in a jar, give it a good shake, and now you have chai spice to make your chai lattes. And I know there's a video somewhere in my whole channel. You can check it out for a chai spice latte and things like that I make with very clean almond milk. So I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons of this because I want it really yummy. And then when we pour over the melted coconut oil and the Vermont maple syrup, then we're going to mix this all in. This is smelling amazing. So this is really all there is to making granola. It's just that we want clean ingredients, no glyphosate, no GMOs, not a ton of sugar. We want some extra seeds in there. We want good stuff. We want raw nuts, very clean. But this is just really fun. This is why having an organized pantry with jars that are labeled, and it just makes it super easy to get out the jars, get out a bowl, get out 1 spatula, and put this together. And then this granola will last you a long time because you just need a couple tablespoons, 2 tablespoons, or at least a 1/4 cup crumbled on top of your overnight oats, or maybe some oatmeal, or some with what else would you put it on? Some I make different porridges like buckwheat. Buckwheat is alkaline as well. It's a really great porridge alternative. And so this is all mixed in. And these spices are just incredible. It's like those seasonal spices of fall and winter that just bring so much joy. What we're going to do is we're going to be putting on gloves here. I'm going to massage this in, and then we're going to pour it onto a pan with parchment paper. And then we're just going to get it into the oven. Okay, let's see. Might even be done. Not quite. Almost done. So let's get some things to the side. So I hope that you put some comments down there about some granola bars that you look at. If you've been getting better about reading the labels, we really have to read labels. I never used to read labels. I had no idea how important it was. And that's why I taught a class, and I retitled it named Food Matters, because I really had no idea how much food matters. And that's one of the realizations that doctors have been making, especially since 2020, how much food matters, because they're losing the race. We are getting sicker with every bite we take, and we need to take control. I might even put a little bit more in here. So the spices, that's totally up to you. But this is a really amazing, powerful yumminess that is going to really make this granola because it is the Vermont chai spice. So that's fantastic. All right, let me grab this. Now, when you use coconut oil, obviously, so in the bars, when coconut oil cools in the refrigerator, it gets harder. So that helps hold these together. And so we're just going to drizzle this over the top. It might even be a little bit too much. We'll see. I might add a little bit more oats to this. See, that's how relaxed you can be because this is a recipe that's fun and easy. And and I'll use this. It's not going to go bad. So this is all mixed together so that the sugar and the oil, when you heat it up, it disperses better all over this because you want an even covering of the lightly sweet and the oil, and then it will get more crispy and fantastic. So here's the pan. We just have a nice half sheet. Your baking sheets, you should have different sizes. Smaller ones, medium size, but the half sheets and the full sheets, fantastic. Get a nice sturdy one so they don't bend. Yeah, this is a lot of granola. So I make gifts for people. The granola makes a great gift. Put the cover on in a beautiful jar, put a little ribbon around it, bring it to a neighbor so they have a nice gift. You can use that same bowl to make the granola bars. So we're just going to toss this around here. I'd never use foil. I use parchment paper, and parchment paper is your best friend for low amounts of cleaning. Now we're going to toss this. We'll put the timer on for 10 minutes, and then we will give it a little toss with that little tool. So we're going to get this in the oven for 10 minutes, and then we will be back. Fabulous. Okay, so they're halfway baked. We're going to take them out. You're going to see we're going to toss them around. They smell amazing here. We want to give it a nice toss. And with the granola, you want to make sure you don't overcook it so that it gets burned. So you're going to be checking it here. This probably could have gone on a little bit bigger pan. That's fine. The biggest thing is to have it nice and crispy without being burned. It's going to be fantastic. So we're giving it a nice toss. We're going to put it in for another 10 minutes and then we'll check it. Hey, I hope you're having fun. We'll see you in a minute. We've got beautiful granola. You want to let it cool and dry completely before you add it into the jars. And once the oven is off, you can even just let it stay in there a little bit to make sure it's nice and dried out and nice and crispy. But this is delicious and fragrance. And where you're going to pick up the getting rid of the sugar and reducing that down, because a lot of recipes are going to add a little bit too much, is adding in that spice because it gives you so much amazing flavor with the maple syrup. So you're really going to love this Vermont chai spice. If you love this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with people. I love being here with you and inspiring you to make healthier, delicious options right at home for you and your family. Have a great night. Thanks for being here.